Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to stand before you today to explore a topic that resonates deeply with the hearts of many. 4 signs your desire for someone is from God, not yourself. We live in a world where emotions often blur the lines between what we want and what God wills. In the realm of relationships, these blurred lines can lead to joy or heartache, fulfillment or confusion. How then do we discern if a longing for someone is divinely inspired or simply a product of our own desires? Today we will uncover the signs that distinguish a desire placed in our hearts by God. Together we will journey through 4 profound principles that guide us in this discernment. These principles not only reveal God's hand at work, but also call us to a higher standard of love, faith, and purpose. Let us embark on this exploration with open hearts and minds, seeking the wisdom and peace that only God can provide. When a desire for someone aligns with God's character and teachings, it reflects the essence of divine love and truth. God's nature is unchanging, and His ways are marked by love, humility, patience, and righteousness. If your longing for someone is from Him, it will carry these same hallmarks. It will draw you closer to His virtues and never lead you to compromise the principles He has established. Short, God-inspired desire is rooted in love, and not just any love, but a love that mirrors His own. This love is patient and kind. It does not envy, does not boast, and is not self-seeking. It seeks the good of the other person not as a means of fulfilling selfish cravings, but as an expression of care and respect for their inherent value as a child of God. When God places a desire in your heart, it will never degrade or objectify another person. Instead, it will elevate them, honoring their dignity as someone made in His image. To discern whether a desire aligns with His teachings, ask yourself, does this longing make me more like Christ? If the desire drives you to grow in kindness, humility, and self-possession, then it may well be divinely inspired. However, if it stirs up selfishness, pride, or possessiveness, it likely originates from your human impulses. God's desires for us are always rooted in His perfect love, and call us to reflect that love in our own lives. Additionally, a desire aligned with God's character will not pull you away from your faith, but will deepen it. It will compel you to pray, to seek wisdom, and to lean on His word for guidance. Scripture becomes your anchor, and His teachings become the standard against which you measure your intentions. For example, you will find yourself asking questions like, am I pursuing this person in a way that honors God? Am I showing patience, grace, and selflessness? These reflections help you discern whether your longing is leading you closer to Him or away from Him. Moreover, God-inspired desire does not entertain actions or paths that contradict His commandments. It does not indulge in deceit, manipulation, or compromise. For instance, if pursuing a relationship requires dishonesty or forsaking your values, then it is not from God. His will is always consistent with His truth, and any desire that leads you to act against His principles is not from Him. His guidance never asks us to sacrifice our integrity for temporary satisfaction. A desire from God is also marked by humility. It recognizes that the relationship is not about fulfilling personal needs, but about serving a higher purpose. It acknowledges that the other person is not a prize to be won or a possession to be claimed, but a partner to be cherished and supported. This humility fosters mutual respect and creates space for the kind of love that reflects God's heart, selfless, enduring, and pure. Furthermore, desires aligned with God's character inspire peace and clarity. God is not the author of confusion or chaos. His desires bring order and harmony to your life. If your longing for someone leaves you feeling unsettled, anxious, or consumed by obsessive thoughts, it is worth pausing to evaluate its source. God's desires for us do not overwhelm. They guide us gently and align with His timing. Finally, a desire rooted in God's character will always bring glory to Him. It will reflect His love and draw others to Him through the example you set in your pursuit of the relationship. It will inspire you to honor God in how you communicate, act, and build a connection with the other person. When your longing aligns with His character, it becomes a vessel for His love to flow into your life and the lives of those around you. When a desire for someone is from God, it will lead you to grow in faith and character, strengthening your relationship with Him and refining you into the person He has called you to be. God does not simply place desires in our hearts for the sake of fleeting happiness or shallow fulfillment. He uses them as instruments for our growth, teaching us patience, trust, humility, and the essence of true love. A divine desire pushes you to rely more deeply on God. It becomes a reason to seek Him more earnestly in prayer, to delve into His Word for guidance, and to depend on His wisdom rather than your own understanding. You find yourself saying, "Lord, if this is truly from you, show me the way. Teach me how to handle this desire with wisdom and grace." In this process, your faith deepens as you learn to trust in His timing, His plan, and His power to work all things together for good. This growth often involves refining your character. A desire from God doesn't simply feel good, it challenges you to become good, better than you were yesterday. It calls you to examine your intentions. Are you seeking this person for selfish reasons, or does your longing flow from a place of love and care? Do you see them as someone to serve and support, or are you focused on how they can fulfill your needs? God-inspired desire gently yet firmly redirects you towards selflessness, teaching you to love in a way that mirrors His love for us. Sacrificial, unconditional, and patient. Patience becomes one of the most significant lessons when a desire is from God. His timeline rarely aligns with ours, and divine desires often involve waiting for clarity, for circumstances to align, or for both people to be ready for the relationship. This waiting is not wasted time but a season of preparation. It allows you to grow in trust, to develop perseverance, and to mature emotionally and spiritually. In the waiting, you learn to let go of control and surrender to God's perfect plan, understanding that His timing is always best. A desire from God also helps you identify and break free from unhealthy patterns or mindsets. It reveals areas in your life where growth is needed. Perhaps an insecurity that needs healing, a habit that needs to change, or a fear that needs to be surrendered. For example, if you've struggled with jealousy or impatience in the past, a God-inspired desire might bring those tendencies to the surface, not to shame you, but to refine you. Through this process, you become more aligned with His image, growing in the fruits of the Spirit, such as love, joy, peace, and self-power. Moreover, a divine desire calls you to stewardship of your emotions and actions. It challenges you to pursue the other person in a way that honors God. This might mean setting boundaries, communicating with honesty and respect, or seeking wise counsel from trusted mentors or spiritual leaders. As you navigate this process, you develop qualities such as wisdom, discernment, and integrity. Qualities that not only benefit the relationship, but also shape you into a stronger, more faithful individual. God's desires are never one-dimensional. They impact every aspect of your being. A longing that comes from Him will not only strengthen your faith and character, but also prepare you for greater purpose. It will shape you into someone who is capable of loving well, not just in romantic relationships, but in all areas of life. It will teach you to walk in humility, to value others as He values them, and to place His will above your own. Ultimately, a desire that fosters growth in faith and character is a sign that it is from God. It is not just about the destination, whether the relationship comes to fruition, but about the journey of becoming who He created you to be. This kind of desire transforms you from the inside out, leading you closer to Him and equipping you to live a life that reflects His love and purpose. When a desire for someone is from God, it is accompanied by peace, not chaos. God is not the author of confusion, fear, or turmoil. Instead, His presence brings clarity, calm, and a steady sense of assurance, even when the path forward remains uncertain. A desire planted by God will align with His nature of peace, allowing you to navigate your emotions and decisions with a sense of quiet confidence that transcends circumstances. This peace doesn't mean there won't be moments of doubt or questioning. Life's complexities often invite us to wrestle with uncertainty. However, even in those moments, a God-given desire will not overwhelm your heart with anxiety or push you toward rash or desperate actions. Instead, it will invite you into a posture of trust and surrender, where you are reminded that God is in control. The peace that comes with His desires is not a fleeting emotion but a deep, abiding sense that you are walking in step with His will. When a desire originates from your own impulses, it often brings a sense of striving or pressure. You may feel the need to force situations, manipulate outcomes, or act out of fear of losing the person. This striving creates inner turmoil, as the focus shifts away from God's plan and rests solely on your ability to make things happen. In contrast, when God places a desire in your heart, it doesn't demand frantic effort. It allows you to take a step back, trust Him, and let things unfold in His timing. This doesn't mean passivity, but rather a balanced approach of intentional action coupled with faith and patience. Peace is also evident in how a God-inspired desire influences your thoughts and emotions. It doesn't consume you with obsession, insecurity, or doubt. Instead, it fosters a sense of contentment and hope. You are not constantly questioning your worth or the validity of the relationship. You are not plagued by fear of rejection or consumed by an unhealthy need to control the outcome. Instead, you feel grounded in the knowledge that God is at work, whether the desire leads to a relationship or simply serves as a tool for growth. This peace extends to the way you interact with the person you desire. A God-given longing encourages you to approach them with kindness, patience, and respect. It does not push you to act out of desperation or to place undue pressure on the other person. Instead, it cultivates an environment of freedom, where both of you can explore the relationship without fear or coercion. This freedom is a hallmark of divine peace. It allows love to grow naturally, unburdened by the weight of manipulation or fear. Moreover, the peace that accompanies a God-inspired desire often acts as a guide in your decision-making. It helps you discern when to move forward and when to wait. For example, you may feel an inner prompting to reach out to the person or to take a step back and focus on your own growth. This peace gives you the confidence to follow God's leading, even when His guidance doesn't align with your own plans or preferences. It reassures you that His ways are higher than your ways and that His plans are for your ultimate good. This peace doesn't mean the path will always be easy. There may be challenges, misunderstandings, or moments of waiting. However, even in the midst of these difficulties, a God-given desire will not lead you to despair. Instead, it will anchor you in the knowledge that God is faithful and that He is working all things together for His glory and your good. This assurance allows you to persevere with patience and grace, knowing that His peace is your strength. Ultimately, the peace that accompanies a desire from God serves as a confirmation of its divine origin. It is the gentle voice of His Spirit, reminding you to trust Him and to rest in His love. This peace is not dependent on external circumstances or outcomes, but is rooted in the unchanging nature of God Himself. It allows you to navigate your desires with wisdom and grace, confident that He is guiding your steps and leading you toward His perfect plan. When a desire for someone is truly from God, it bears good fruit in your life and the lives of others. This fruit is the tangible evidence of God's hand at work. It reflects His goodness and purpose, drawing you closer to Him and inspiring growth, joy, and love that extend beyond yourself. Unlike desires born solely from human impulses, which often leave a trail of confusion, pain, or regret, a God-inspired longing brings blessings that align with His will and glorify Him. One of the clearest ways to recognize good fruit is through the positive impact the desire has on your character. A God-given longing encourages you to grow in virtues such as patience, kindness, humility, and selflessness. It challenges you to examine your motivations, pushing you to become a person who loves well and acts with integrity. For example, instead of focusing solely on how the relationship benefits you, you begin to consider how you can serve, support, and uplift the other person. This shift in perspective reflects the heart of Christ, who calls us to love sacrificially and with compassion. Good fruit also manifests in your spiritual life. A desire from God deepens your connection with Him, drawing you to seek His guidance and wisdom. It encourages you to pray more earnestly, study His Word with greater focus, and trust Him with the outcome. This spiritual growth not only benefits your personal walk with God, but also prepares you to be a better partner in a relationship. It equips you with the tools to navigate challenges with faith and to build a foundation that honors Him. The impact of a God-inspired desire extends beyond you to the other person and those around you. It fosters a sense of mutual respect and encouragement, creating an environment where both individuals can thrive. A relationship rooted in God's will doesn't deplete or diminish, it nurtures and builds. It inspires both individuals to become better versions of themselves, growing in faith, character, and purpose. This kind of relationship also has a ripple effect, blessing friends, family, and even the wider community as they witness the love, peace, and joy that flow from it. Another hallmark of good fruit is clarity and order. A God-given desire doesn't sow seeds of confusion or chaos. Instead, it brings direction and purpose. As the desire unfolds, you begin to see God's hand orchestrating circumstances, opening doors, and providing confirmation that you are on the right path. This clarity doesn't mean everything will be easy or perfectly smooth, but it does mean that you will sense God's presence and guidance every step of the way. Good fruit is also reflected in the alignment of the relationship with God's values. A desire from God inspires both individuals to pursue holiness, honoring boundaries, and building a foundation of trust and integrity. It doesn't encourage shortcuts or compromise. Instead, it calls you to honor God in every aspect of the relationship. This commitment to doing things His way lays the groundwork for a partnership that can withstand challenges and bring glory to Him. Perhaps most importantly, good fruit points others toward God. A desire from Him is never solely about personal fulfillment. It is part of His larger plan to reveal His love and faithfulness to the world. As others observe the way you handle your desire with patience, humility, and faith, they are drawn to the source of your strength. The love and peace that flow from a God-inspired relationship become a testimony to His goodness, inspiring others to seek Him in their own lives. Ultimately, the fruit of a desire reveals its origin. When a longing bears fruit that reflects God's character, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control, you can be confident that it is from Him. This fruit is not fleeting. It endures, bringing lasting blessings and glorifying God in ways that go far beyond your own understanding. It serves as a reminder that His plans are always good, His timing is perfect, and His purposes are far greater than we can imagine.